Guys, I'm Nathaniel Chakimowicz. I'm here to give my final annotated bibliography project on institutionalization in juvenile detention facilities. To start, I want to talk about what is institutionalization. So institutionalization is the mindset that juveniles or adults receive or get after they get out of their detention facility. It could be the mindset that, hey, I'm still in prison. I'm still going to be hanging out with the same peer groups, committing petty crimes or severe crimes. And it can be really tarnishing on not only their mental health, but their attitude towards things as well. It can result in reoffenses, and it can result in their families being brokenhearted again when they go back to prison. So my topic is institutionalization in juvenile detention facilities. As I mentioned, it discusses how it affects their mental health, their potential drug use, and potential recidivism as well. So I chose my topic because it hits home. You know, I've had friends and I've had family go to prison and come out of prison and, reoffend. And I wanted to learn how institutionalization has affected their mental health. And it has affected the potential that they are going to reoffend. So I believe this topic is significant to society and significant to other things as well, because it's a true issue that we have a lot of people coming out of prison and going back. And it's shocking because this hasn't been dealt with. Our prison system is really lackluster. It was built on punishment and not really rehabilitation. And these people keep coming back because they're not receiving the help that they need in prison. So I believe this really affects society, and it really affects how people look at prison and how people look at people that are going to prison as well. So the methods that I use to get my sources are Google Scholar. I also use the University of Idaho Library website as well. And this is so I can get the peer-reviewed, vetted information that I need to create a good mindset and create a good, get good information that added on to my annotated bibliography project. I also wanted to ensure that my information was correct, so I wasn't getting any wrong information. So the types of sources that I use were academic research journals to start. These can be, social. This could be social research. It can then also be research from different sources as well. I wanted to make sure that these were vetted and peer reviewed. I use government journals. We get a few government journals in our module readings that were assigned. I use scientific research journals. Scientific research journals not only can help us realize the mental health issues that this has, but also potential physical issues as well that it has on institutionalized human beings. Peer-reviewed sources from around the world. These can include from Brazil is one of the ones I use, and from other sources around the world. This is so that I could get a good understanding of how it affects the entire world and not just the United States, so I don't stay so pinpointed on one country. So I picked these types of sources primarily so that I could get correct information, but I also wanted to include from different countries and from different academic and scientific journals. And so this can show different statistics from different researchers and how it affects their discussion and their mindset on this topic, and how it can affect mine as well. So assigned concepts related to my topic. To start, I have a quote, and it says, "There is no national recidivism rate for juveniles." And this is shocking because, juveniles potentially can go back to prison and live a life of crime after they originally go to detention facilities, because they're not only away from their parents, but they're away from their original family and friends. And this can really affect their mental health and can lead to prior and after drug use. So the second quote I have is about routine activities theory. It says that situations conducive to deviance are especially prevalent in time spent with peers. Goals pickup game analogy emphasizes the group nature of most deviance and fits with the abundant evidence that most illegal behavior occurs in the company of others. Research reveals that individuals who spend more time with the friends engage in deviant behavior more frequently. This is not only about routine activities theory, but socialization theory as well. It's about how, these individuals will continue hanging out with their peer groups. They might initially commit, minor crimes such as drug use or alcohol abuse, but might lead to stealing, and it might lead to more grand theft as well. And so I just wanted to bring this up because it really affects how juveniles will be after they come out of prison or after they come out of their detention facilities, and how it affects them coming back. So interesting findings that I have is, to quote, I have one from the Brazil study that I have. It says, of the total participants, 175, 28% showed moderate to severe depression scores, and 34.28% showed moderate to severe anxiety scores. This is shocking because it shows that not only in the United States, but around the world, it's that once these juveniles come out of their detention facilities, that it really affects their mental health, and their mental health eventually can lead to them committing more crimes as well, or possibly even suicide. My second quote says, juveniles are often detained for short periods of time in jails or police lockups when there are no juvenile detention facilities available. When they come into contact with law enforcement over the weekend, evenings, or holidays, or when the philosophy of a law enforcement agency dictates that putting juveniles in jail teaches them a lesson that will deter further delinquent behavior. This is shocking because not a lot of people know that juveniles can be placed in adult facilities for a little bit, even 3 to 6 months before they even are placed in a juvenile detention facility. I had a friend that was placed in a adult jail cell before they actually went, and it was shocking because the person was paired with, adults that committed far worse crimes and live a life of crime. And this can really affect their mental health because they're looking at themselves and they're like, hey, this could be me, but it also affects how they look at themselves, and it could be like, hey, I'm not nearly like this guy. I could keep committing my crimes and, not be punished as near as severely. So would I pick this topic again? I would totally pick this topic again because it has given me an insight on how institutionalization has not only affected other people, but affected my peers and my family members as well, and how it can result in them committing reoffenses again, and it can also lead to potential jail time and potential prison time. It can affect their mental health and their potential drug use as well. It's shocking because the United States government really needs to focus on rehabilitating people instead of punishing people. And they need to focus on, enlarging their prison system, and not just focus on, putting people in jail and making them serve their time, but, trying to get people not to reoffend as well. Right here, I got my reference page. I'm just going to zoom in really quick so that everyone can see. These include not only the resources that I picked up, but also the sources that were according to the module readings that I assigned as well. I appreciate you guys listening in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Happy holidays.